Well, hello everybody and welcome to a Monday edition of Lunch Break Live. Real talk about obesity, food obsession, recovery, and what's really eating you. I am Cari de la Cruz, and on today's show, can you have your cake and eat it too? What kind of cake? I know you guys are already thinking about double chocolate devil's food, angel food, pineapple upside down. You guys are thinking of all of the wonderful cakes, I know. All right, don't worry. We'll discuss it further, but we will not be exchanging recipes. And before I go there, you should know who I am. I'm a 2007 gastric bypass post-op, living life in recovery from obesity and food addiction as twice the woman and half the body. I am also a recovery rebel and strategist, so I say stuff that most people don't say, and many more do not like to hear, in the hope that I can help people find and own their crap so they can find and own their recovery. So that is me, and as usual, I have to turn the show over to you guys. How are we all doing? Who's here? Let me check in and put my finger on the pulse, if you will, of the room. Oh, hey, while I'm at it, share. Can you guys share right now before I get really started? And then people can come in and see the top of the show without going, what are we talking about? Can you repeat? And then having to watch it entirely on demand. Although the top of the show is pretty fun. By the way, in case you're wondering why I'm like in Hawaiian, wear, because it's October, which would be fall. I am in Southern California, I remind you, and in the Southern Hemisphere, it's like spring. So I'm dressed for spring in the Southern Hemisphere today because it's 96 degrees. Again. What the heck? They call this Indian summer. I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means. If I'm an Indian giver, I'm going to give it back. How's that? I'm giving back. I am ready for fall once and for all. But anyway, that's why I'm dressed this way. All right, you guys. So who's here? That's what I wanted to check in. Mama made it in front and center, and Nancy and Jody. And let's see, Katie, how are you? And Amy's here live. Larry, I haven't seen you in a long time. Larry, how are you doing? Great to see you. Sorrel is here, and Laura, welcome. I'm so glad you made it today, you busy lady. Melissa's here. Now you're getting notifications because we were unfollowing each other, or you were unfollowed for me and I was unfollowed for you, and you weren't getting notifications, right? I'm really glad you fixed that up, and you're getting notified again. Kathy, welcome in. Hi, and Ana Gutierrez. Okay, you guys, so let's talk about cake, right? All right. Okay, so I guess I'll start with this. What does it mean to have your cake and eat it too? What does that mean? Can you guys give me some example or like a brief explanation of what you think that means? Just shared it to a couple of groups. Hey, thanks, Laura, those Pacific Northwest peeps up there. Thank you so much. Yeah, you guys are having much better fall weather up there. And be really happy that you are not in Southern California, at least right now. Hopefully when you come down for OH, hopefully it will be cooler. All right, so what does it even mean to have your cake and eat it too? Okay, well, let's start there with what does it mean to have your cake? All right, let's start with that. I think, to have things both ways when you really can only have it one way, Nancy says. Okay, really good. Okay, so what does it mean to have your cake? Let's start there. I mean, whether it means eat or possess it, okay, once you eat it, there's nothing left to have. So when you hear have your cake and eat it too, what does that even mean to have it? I don't understand, right? Okay, when you heard the title of the show, this is the biggie. How many of you guys did think about literal cake? Send me some like happy faces or thumbs up or something like that. Let me know. Welcome in, Tiffany. You're a newer viewer, aren't you? Glad to see you. Come on in. Okay, so how many of you guys, give me happy faces, thumbs up, whatever, thought of literal cake when I said have your cake and eat it too? Okay, I see like laughing faces. I see thumbs up. Okay. Did you guys think about it in a good way or a negative way? And if you thought about cake, what kind of cake did you think about? I know I gave you a few at the top of the show, but I'm sure you had your own ideas of cake. All right, I'm glad you made it. Tiffany, welcome. All right. So did you think about it in a good way or a negative way? You can give me thumbs down or mad faces for negative, or sad faces, whatever, and thumbs up and happy faces if you thought about it in a positive way. And again, I know you're responding, but Facebook loves to keep me in the dark. They love to delay responses, so I probably won't see your reactions until I watch it on demand and answer the comments from everyone that's leaving them. All right, so when I hear have your cake and eat it too, I actually hear the phrase, you can't have your cake and eat it too. That is the expression I hear, although that is not the original version. It was in Shakespeare, okay? And he was saying, can you have your cake and eat it too? Which is what the title of today's show was. But I hear, you can't have your cake and eat it too. And then guess what I hear after that? I hear, I can't have cake. That's what I hear. I'm serious, okay? That's where I went with that. I can't have cake. Isn't that funny? I mean, it's really not about cake, you guys, even though you might have thought about it, not in the traditional sense. And I know that we logically all know that. That's the irony here, you guys. When you hear the expression, you know that it's not really talking about cake, yet how many of you guys thought about a literal cake? Okay? I know I'm not alone. Okay, really, as Nancy said, it is about wanting the best of both worlds and wanting to literally possess two things that cannot be held simultaneously. All right, you're like, I knew that. You're not telling me anything I didn't know. Well, here's something you might not have considered. It's like saying that you want to gain weight and lose weight at the same time. Can you do it? Gain weight and lose weight at the same time. Okay, obviously, no. And yet, isn't that, okay, here's where it gets challenging, you guys. Isn't that what you're trying to do when you want to have your cake literally, quite literally, and eat it too? Isn't that what you're trying to do? You want to eat cake and lose weight, don't you? Seriously, that is exactly what we think about. Of course, you know what happens, right? You want to have your cake, so you have your cake, and then you eat too much cake, right? Which is where you get the expression, too much of a good thing. You know what's so funny? There is no ending on that. It's just too much of a good thing. There's nothing that comes after it. But you know what I say? Too much of a good thing is what? Too much of a good thing is neither. Too much of a good thing is harmful, excessive. I don't know. But that's a funny thing, right? We want to have our cake and lose weight too. So maybe where obesity and like food addiction are concerned, we want to have the best of both worlds, where the best is too much of both worlds. Interesting, right? Where do I come up with this stuff? Okay, well, just for today, I am going to ditch the word cake. I'm just going to ditch it, and I'm going to say you can't have it both ways. Now, that's what Nancy said. Can't have it both ways. You can't, think about this for a second, you can't stop and go at the same time. Do you guys agree with me? You can't stop and go at the same time. All right, give me some thumbs up or something. Let me know that you guys are on the same page with me and I'm not just talking to myself here. I know Laura didn't think of cake. All right, good. So, right, can't stop and go at the same time. All right. And it does seem logical. Hey, Jean, welcome in. All right. It does seem logical and maybe even obvious in so many ways. But what about the less obvious ways? Okay? You're like, well, of course you can't stop and go at the same time. Of course you can't gain weight and lose weight at the same time. Duh, that's so easy. Here's some less obvious ways, all right? Okay, here's here's what you might say, okay, in your mind. Are you ready? I've learned to make healthier food choices, and I'm even cooking healthier for my family. Of course, they don't like my food, so I make them things they will like. But then I eat it because it's really hard to avoid it. You know what? If they didn't like that kind of food, I wouldn't cook it. I should be able to eat the way they do and still lose weight. And you're like, I've never thought that way. Haven't you though? Maybe you didn't polish it off with the statement that I made at the end, but haven't you thought that? Okay, here's another one. I've learned to do my own thing and be responsible for my health. I pack my lunch and I eat what I pack. But sometimes my coworkers want to go out to lunch, so I have to eat what they eat, and there aren't really healthy choices there. So, I mean, come on, what can I do? I should be able to eat the way they do and still lose weight. Okay, you're like, okay, but I would never say that. Oh, but don't you? Up until the very last sentence. All right, here we go. I know that I'll have to exercise for the rest of my life if I want to be healthy. And I do aquafit at least 3 times a week. Except the pool has been closed where I take my classes, so I haven't been going for a few months. I should be able to have the benefits of working out without working out, right? Okay. I cannot worry about what other people think. Clearly, I cannot worry. It is time to think about myself for a change and stop putting myself second. I really wish my friends would support me instead of sabotaging me. I should be able to worry about my friends, what my friends think, without worrying about what other people think. What? I should be able to worry about what my friends think without worrying about what other people think. I don't know how something like that would work, and yet. All right, here's another one. I know that what I eat is no one else's business. This is my journey. I had bariatric surgery for my health. That means I have to eat smaller portions while other people eat large portions. Surgery was my choice. And I only want to pay for a child-sized portion at the restaurant because I don't eat very much. Here's my card, by the way. You should care enough about me to give me a discount. But I don't want you to judge me for having surgery. Well, wait a minute. What? I got whiplash on that one. I don't know about you, but I've heard it. I have absolutely heard it with a straight face. I cannot tell you how often I have had conversations with people that start out very innocently. Of course, they always start out innocently, but desperately. It's usually desperate by the time people get to me, all right? Help me. I'm struggling, I can't lose weight, or I'm regaining weight, okay, whatever it is, and I can't stop. And I hardly eat anything. And I'm doing everything right, but it's just not working. What am I eating? Protein. What type of protein? I don't know, protein. What is lean protein? How much protein? Oh. Well, I don't have time to measure. So I just drink a couple of protein shakes every day and then I watch what I eat the rest of the time. What do I eat the rest of the time? Well, it's really hard because I work full time and I really can't pack my meals and then I have to go out to eat for lunch and I do my best. But you know what? Everything always comes with French fries. And I usually leave most of the fries on the plate. The burger? Oh, well, please, come on. I take off one bun and then, you know what? I just eat the rest. That's all. But I should be able to be I should be able to be too busy to measure and pack my food and go out and have a 1,000 calorie lunch and still lose weight. What? See, that's the thing. You stop just short of that last little thing, which is really the logical conclusion. That's having your cake and eating it too. I should be able to go out and not have to measure and not have to count calories and not have to pack my food and eat whatever I want and still lose weight. That really is the logical conclusion of that kind of thinking, that kind of conversation. And yet we stop just short. I am not calling anybody out, okay? Not calling anyone out because you know when you do it to yourself. You absolutely do, right? I did it for years. It's called justification. We do it for protection. We do it, denial, the whole thing that we always talk about on the show, right? Justification. It is like throwing something against the wall to see what sticks and then heaping more and more pasta until you can't see a wall anymore. It's like piling on one good reason after another, okay? And you're piling these on to the person who's asking you if you're accountable. Okay, that's what they're doing. Are you accountable? And you are trying to prove how responsible and reliable, committed, accountable, and trustworthy you are by demonstrating why you are irresponsible, unreliable, uncommitted, unaccountable, and untrustworthy. Did you follow that? So the person is asking you essentially if you're accountable, right? And you are trying to prove to them how very, very responsible and accountable and reliable and committed and trustworthy you are while you're demonstrating why it is that you aren't. Have your cake? Eat it too? Really? I want you to trust me well, I'm being untrustworthy, and then when I'm not trustworthy, I'm going to blame you. What? That makes no sense. And yet, that is exactly what we are expecting others to believe, and that is what we are expecting ourselves to believe, and we know there's something wrong with it. Doesn't add up, it's illogical, doesn't make sense, so we want to eat more to shut it up. Shut up that logic. I know this doesn't make sense. Eat. Right? Of course it doesn't make sense. It is time to be the grown-up that says, hi, excuse me, time out. There is a problem with your logic there, self. There is a problem, all right? Here's the bottom line. Obesity isn't fair, okay? Obesity is hard. Obesity is a disease. It is chronic and it is progressive. And if you want to be healthy, you have to treat and manage your disease, even if you don't like having to do it, okay? Making excuses for why you don't treat and manage your disease does not make it acceptable to not treat and manage your disease. It explains why your disease is unmanaged and untreated, and that is about it. Got it? So making excuses for not managing and treating your disease does not make it okay and does not make it go away. All it does is explain why it is that you are not treating and managing your disease. Okay? You are responsible for you, right? I'm not responsible for you. I'm responsible for me. And believe me, that is enough of a job. So this week, I'm going to encourage you guys. Week, not just today. This week. How many days in a week? I'm going to go work week. You know what? No, I'm going to make it harder. I'm going all the way to Sunday. I'm going today until Sunday. I'm going to encourage you guys to ask yourself if you're trying to have your cake and eat it too. Not literal cake, Laura. Any kind of cake. Whatever it is that you want, right, that you can't have at the same time if you have something else, okay? Are you trying to behave like someone who does not have the same disease you have? If you're a food addict, are you trying to moderate your intake because non-addicts can do that, so you should be able to do that, only you can't? Are you trying to eat the way your naturally thin sibling or friend or spouse eats because you should be able to eat like them and be naturally thin? Okay, ask yourself this stuff. Are you blaming your family or your friends for your sickness? Are you excusing your behavior and hoping someone will leave you alone or condone it? Right? I'm hoping that if I filibuster with enough excuses, you will lose interest and just walk away, or you'll even condone it and go, oh, I understand. I understand why you're being irresponsible and why you're telling yourself lies and why it is that you're not taking care of yourself and why you're blaming other people. Oh, I totally understand that. Oh, good for you. That's not how it works. It's not how it works, okay? Are you expecting results from actions that don't produce those results? Okay? Are you expecting to literally eat cake and lose weight? I don't care what kind of cake it is. I don't care if it's a paleo cake. I don't care if it's a meat cake. I don't care what kind of cake it is, okay? Because you know what kind of cake you're eating and you're going to eat too much of it. If you are expecting that outcome from those actions, you got to stop lying to yourself, all right? Are you expecting to win a medal for completing a marathon you didn't run just because you want a medal? Okay? I want the medal because it's really cute, and especially if it's from Disney and it has the little character on it. So I want one of those, but I don't want to have to run the marathon. I should just be able to pay the money and just have it because I want it, but I don't want to have to do it. Why didn't I do it? Well, because I hurt myself. I was feeling really tired. I wasn't really up to it. I twisted my ankle. Really? Okay, but you get the medal? I know that's what we're teaching our kids. If you just show up, you get a trophy, but that is not the way it works in the real world, and that's not the way it works on the scale. I think you and I both know that. Yeah, the scale is the ultimate arbiter of our lives, all right? Are you expecting to lose weight when you aren't doing what you need to do to lose weight? That's just really the bottom line. Are you expecting to stop regaining weight when everything that you're doing, everything that you're eating results in regain? Doesn't make a lot of sense when you say it that way, and yet isn't that what you're doing? Are you pretending that you have no power to do what requires power to do? Is that what you're trying to convince me? Because you know I won't buy it. You guys try to peddle this stuff with me, and you know I don't buy it. I don't believe that you don't have the power. I don't believe you're powerless. I believe that you have the power. It may not be the way in which you're trying to peddle to me that you're powerless, but there are other ways. There are other ways. You've got the power. So don't try to peddle to me that you can't do it because it's too hard, right? Okay? I'm going to say find a way is what I'm going to say every single time. It doesn't matter to me if I know the answer about whether you're eating too much and expecting to lose weight. It doesn't matter to me if I know that answer, because guess what? I'm not the one eating cake. So that's my show for today, you guys. Let's see what time it is. We got some time left, and this is where I generally get myself into big trouble. So let's just do some live whatever and see what you guys have to say about, let them eat cake, said Marie Antoinette. Don't lose your head. Yeah, there it is. The bad jokes came out. You knew they had to. All right, let's see. Where did we leave it? Not me. That was the last one. That was the last one I saw, Laura Van Tile. And Sherry, welcome in. And Andrea, I'm glad you joined. And David is here. Welcome, welcome. Everybody's saying hi, hi, hi while I'm talking about cake. And Paul is here. Welcome in. Raquel, hola. Magical thinking. Yeah, that could be part of it. Isn't that amazing how that magical thinking absolutely never pans out, and yet it doesn't stop us from trying to wave that magic wand? And we keep going, maybe my wand's broken. No, it's your thinking that's broken. All right, Patty is here. Welcome in. And Alberto and Yadelis. And okay, we all know the answer, Laura says. Love the in-your-face approach you offer. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Here is the bottom line to me, okay? I'm not telling you anything you don't really know. I'm just not. You know that I don't sugarcoat stuff because that's what got us here in the first place, that whole sugarcoating thing. But the bottom line is, if you guys make unhealthy choices, that doesn't hurt me. I have to make my own healthy choices. But if I can encourage you to start thinking about, cut through the cutter, cut through the crap, and say, you know what, here's the bottom line. I'm not going to coddle you. I'm not going to make you feel all happy and good about it. The bottom line is you already feel bad about yourself. I can't make you feel worse than you already feel. You make yourself feel worse than I ever could. But I'm just thinking, if it takes some, I'll call it tough love, but whatever. I just call it logic. The strategy behind this is to walk through the logic and say, you know, self, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. What I am doing there is what Cari is saying. I am trying to lose weight by eating too much. Okay? I am trying to stop regaining while I'm doing all of the things that lead to regain. And then I'm saying, really, the bottom line is I should be able to have my cake and eat it too. That doesn't work, right? What is it? Law of physics that says, two objects cannot occupy the same space at the same time. It's the same thing. You cannot have divergent thoughts. You cannot have polar opposite thoughts and expect it all to work out in the end. I guarantee it'll all end up in your end. That's really where that's going to happen. Anyway, let's see what else we got. Self-honesty allows us to move on and grow and change. And you know what? I know a lot of us are afraid of self-honesty. Because what? Are you afraid of what other people will think of you? I don't know. Does it matter what other people think? I think it matters more what you think, and you don't think very highly of yourself. And that's why you stop with the honesty. You figure if you don't tell yourself it won't be true. It's true, right? Whether you think it or not, you know it. That's really the bottom line, all right? So to me, I kind of look at this and I go, I'm tired of being in jail. And if this is the way, I'm going to throw open the jail cell door and I'm going to say, there you go. There's the out. Right? But to stay out, you can't be, recidivism, right? You can't be a repeat offender. Can't do the same thing that got you in here, okay? And then you're going to go, okay, well, wait, now what are the terms of my release here? And I say, you can't do the same thing that got you in here. But you're get out of jail free right here. You can go. The door's open, okay? The cell door is open. There is no lock on it. All you have to do is not do what you did to get in here. And you go, okay. And then you do what you did to get in there and you go back and you go, I'm just in prison. I'm just here and I can't get out. And I say, that's not true. You can too get out. You can too. As a matter of fact, you put yourself right back in. Now, does that mean that I don't have compassion? Absolutely not. I have tremendous compassion because I know how hard it is to live that way, to not be honest with ourselves, to lie to ourselves and then try to believe the things that we know are lies. I know how much that hurts. So of course I have tremendous compassion, and I don't have this thing figured out. What I have is some rules that I've applied to myself that say, Cari, you know what? You can't lie to yourself anymore because you're onto you, okay? So that's just one of the rules, is you don't get to lie to yourself anymore. And when it is that you figure out that you've been in denial, time to own your crap. And when it is that you need to apologize to people, apologize to people. I mean, that's pretty much how this works, okay? So we just, we got to run our own race, but not lie about it, all right? All right, so you guys are awfully quiet, either because I freaked you out or made you mad, or you've left. It is possible. You're busy sharing the show with others, which of course I highly encourage you to do, or you're just in stunned silence because you're thinking about what I said and you're like, I think I'll bake a cake later tonight. Hope not. All right, let's see what Laura said. Sometimes a person might need professional help to get out of the cycle of returning over and over to bad habits of lying to self. That's weird. I've never said that, Laura Van Tile. You are absolutely right. And, a big part of this for me, though, is, you've got the feelings and you've got the emotions and you've got all that stuff, that clutter, all of the stuff that fed the behaviors. And then you have the behaviors. And a lot of us want to get hung up and we say, you know what? I'm not going to stop doing that thing until I know why I do it. And a lot of us say, I'm going to go see someone so that I can learn why it is that I'm doing this to myself. And I'm saying, you know what? You don't need to know why you do it to stop doing it. You can be doing this in tandem, in parallel. You can be formulating a plan that says, when I get out of this jail cell, I'm going to do my best not to repeat that. And then, I'm going to go see someone about it to find out what it was that made me think it was a good idea to be in that prison. However, you do have to change your behavior, and it doesn't matter why. You just change it. See, that's the logical, that's the strategic part of recovery that says, I'm going to stop doing what it is that I was doing to hurt myself. I'm not going to get caught up in why it is that I'm doing it. However, I'm going to go explore that. I'm going to go talk to somebody about it because it would be interesting to know, because guess what? Those things obviously feed many, many areas of your life that have nothing to do with food. Okay, so of course that's very important, and I do agree with you 100% on that one. All right then. So let's see, everybody's now LOLing. Hey, Pampolito, just in time for me to tune out. And hey, therapist, just in time for me to have just said something about therapy. And I'm going to sign off, but I'll be eager to hear what you guys have to say. But more importantly, you know your assignment for the week. You know your homework. And again, this is not a work week. This is not a Monday through Friday business week. This is until Sunday. Your job is to look at the ways in which you try to convince yourself and others that you can have your cake and eat it too, all right? And here's a little hint. This is part of owning your crap. That really is it, okay? This is part of saying, look, I'm going to stop trying to pass this crap off as something great and wonderful so that people will forgive me and give me permission to do what I'm doing to myself, all right? At some point, you run out of friends, when you keep doing that. I would rather use my friends to support me in my healthy stuff. I really would. That's how I would prefer to use friends. But, it's entirely up to you what you guys think. Okay, you have to have friends first to use them. But still, I would encourage you to make them part of your healthy recovery team. How's that? By surrounding yourself by other people who are not trying to have their cake and eat it too, but who are working the work and honestly and fearlessly working to make wiser, healthier choices. That's what this is all about. Progress, not perfection. We just do our best. When you're on to you, that's really great. And you go, oh, I know what I'm doing here. I'm trying to have my cake and eat it too. I'm trying to blame my family for my own poor choices. Got it. Okay, yeah, I can't do that. And then I can't complain that I can't do anything about it while I'm blaming other people for why I can't do anything about it. Got it? So that's your assignment for this week, to work on it. And I'll be eager to hear some feedback from you guys and hear what your thoughts are on this. And you know what? Heck, if you totally disagree with me, that works too. I would like to hear, but I'm going to challenge you every single time. I'm not going to go away quietly. There's just not a quiet bone in my body. All right, you guys, I'm going to sign off because it's that time. But I'm really looking forward to hearing what this week is going to turn into, because I have no idea what we're going to talk about. So very excited. But if you guys have some ideas, I'm always welcome. You're always welcome to share them with me, and I'm always open to hearing them. All right, I'm going to sign off. And I'm going to remind you all to have courage, seek peace, embrace joy, and above all, live your recovery. Remember, you can't stop feeding what's eating you if you don't know what's eating you. I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Thanks for being here and share the show. Bye.